It's time to get up with the NBA. One team gets its championship rings, another looks ready to win theirs. We've got you covered right off the top. Then, if the Saints don't go marching all the way in, is it a disappointment? Wait till you hear what their coach had to say about that. And the Steelers have fallen. The question is, in the next 2 weeks, is there any way they get back up? We've got all the answers as we get up with you, starting right now on a Wednesday, and delighted not to be alone in our Seaport studios. Greeny Graziano is back in better than ever, and the fellas are ready to go, talking football today and plenty of it. Ryan Clark, Dominique Foxworth are fired up and ready to go. We have a lot to get to, but we begin, ladies and gentlemen, with opening night in the NBA and the game of the night. Clippers, Lakers getting their rings. That's number 4 for LeBron James. And this year, Kawhi Leonard hopes to play spoiler. Pick this up in the first. Lakers already down 11. Anthony Davis, double team. We're going the other way. Kawhi, Lou Williams. Yes, he had 11 off the bench. Clippers were red hot early. We're still in the first. The Clippers lead is 14. Kawhi to the basket. Kawhi, oh, he's got the space. Kawhi, 26 points in 34 minutes. Lakers down 20 after 1. But here they come. Second quarter, it's a 12-point game. Anthony Davis on the baseline. He had 18 in 31 minutes. Lead is 10. Under 2 minutes till the half. They've cut it to 5. LeBron James, he's a week away from turning 36. He looks pretty good out there. Lakers down to a 2-point game at halftime, outscoring the Clips by 18 in the second. Third quarter, Clippers up 4. We got a ball game. Kawhi, no. Lakers, transition, Dennis Schroeder, LeBron, liftoff. LeBron throws it down, 22 points on 28 minutes as he begins year 18 in the NBA. It's a 2-point game. Later in the third, Clippers are up 3. Paul George took this over late. Remember all the late game struggles in the bubble. No such thing last night. That makes it a 6-point game. Then under 7 to go, Clippers are up by 9. Paul George would score 33 points on the night, knocking this one down for a 4-point play. So 33 for PG. Kawhi had 26. Clippers win the opener 116-109. Meanwhile, Kevin Durant, welcome back to the NBA, making his debut with the Brooklyn Nets against KD's former team. The Warriors and Steph Curry were a minute in, and here it is. First bucket in a year and a half for KD, knocking down a 3. He looked comfortable, and so did his teammate. Take a look at Kyrie Irving. Corner, 3-ball. Yes, KD and Kyrie combined to outscore the Warriors in the first quarter by themselves, 27-25. Nets stay hot. Late in the second, that's KD. He had 12 in the first half. Under 20 seconds to go in the half. Warriors down 17. Steph got space. Yes, he would lead the Warriors with 20 for the game, but the very next play, Kyrie, the range. 31 feet, and it's good. Kyrie had 24 points in the first half. Nets up 18 at the break. Third quarter, Brooklyn is up by 20 off the inbound. DeAndre Jordan. Oh, he throws it down hard. The Nets firing on all cylinders. Later in the third, they've got depth. Spencer Dinwiddie, Kevin Durant, KD 22 points, 5 boards, just 25 minutes of action. Kyrie had 26. Steve Nash, his first win as a head coach. Nets take it in a blowout. KD, how'd it feel?
I know it's a lot of emotions and a lot of, I got so many calls and texts about, playing again. For me, I was just like, I got to focus on the first possession, and then try to get through that and then move on each possession. So I try not to make too big of a deal out this whole thing. And, realize I've been playing this game since I was 8 years old. So I just got to revert back to what I know.
So it is good to see him back, and it is good to see this big fella back. Kendrick Perkins is with us here, getting up early with us on ESPN. And Big Perk, if you can hear me, let's get into what happened last night. I'm a little concerned. There he is. Kendrick Perkins, what was your biggest takeaway last night from the Nets win? I did not have a good feeling about that. I could just tell from the way he wasn't looking up that he didn't hear me. So let's just hold off on that for a moment. We'll come back and talk basketball with Big Perk a little bit later. But let's turn.
And the lack of sense of urgency. But the question I have for you, Perk, is how did the new additions for the Lakers look?
They look good. I think Marcus Gasol looked a little bit out of shape. He still has to find his rhythm. And it's not easy for big men. Look, I was a big man in the league, and it takes time. But Dennis Schroeder looked awesome last night. He's going to fit in just well with the Lakers. And also Montrezl Harrell. I would love to see him and Anthony Davis get a lot more minutes on the floor together. Once they get minutes, they're gonna have a tandem defensively that's going to be a force to be reckoned with. A lot of people don't understand about Montrezl Harrell was that last year he finished top 10 in the NBA in protecting the basket, and he finished top 10 in the NBA in taking charges. So when he's locked in and him and Anthony Davis could figure out how to play with one another, they're going to be a dangerous defensive tandem. And offensively, they have more than enough weapons. And this is the first time in a long time that LeBron James is not going to have to do too much on the offensive end. Well, we all know he has Anthony Davis, but now having Dennis Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell, two guys that could go get a bucket without having to rely on LeBron James to set them up, is great for the Lakers.
Perk, I'm trying to figure out, and I'm kind of torn on this one, so I'm looking for some clarity from you on this one. As you mentioned, Montrezl Harrell is a Laker. He's no longer with the Clippers. The Clippers have replaced him with Serge Ibaka. Is Ibaka an upgrade as opposed to Harrell, given the system that the Clippers are trying to push towards now?
I actually think Serge Ibaka fits better with the Clippers than Montrezl Harrell, because Serge is a guy that could stretch the floor. He can knock down the three-point shot. He's a guy that actually is a loud threat at the basket, and he don't need post-ups. So Serge is not a guy that's going to run to the block and ask for the ball, and that's not what the Clippers need. So it's good because it gives Kawhi Leonard and Paul George spacing so they could be able to operate and not have the paint clogged up. So I do see him being a slight upgrade. Now, is Serge better than Montrezl Harrell? No, but he's a better fit for the Clippers, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I agree. I was kind of split. You kind of pushed me over the threshold. Perk, before we let you go, we got to touch. We got to touch on the Warriors here. They looked overmatched by a Nets team that's clearly superior in talent. With no Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, they were playing uphill the whole time. Warriors look bad defensively, but more importantly, the Warriors look like they don't have the spacers needed offensively to keep up in a shootout. How worried should we be about the Warriors? What is their ceiling this year with no Klay Thompson?
Well, that ceiling is making the playoffs. And I keep telling people this, and a lot of people always laugh at me, but Draymond Green is the leader of that team. He's the heart and soul of that team. Steph Curry is the best player, but that team goes as far as Draymond Green leads them. And when I say that is that he brings a certain type of tenacity. He brings a different type of edge. He gives them swagger. And him not being on the court, they don't have that same swagger. I tell you what, Kelly Oubre looked good last night, in my opinion. James Wiseman looked good to say that he didn't really get a chance to have a training camp or a preseason. I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to make the playoffs this season. They might finish top 5 in the Western Conference. Andrew Wiggins will find his rhythm with that culture that they have. So I'm not worried about the Warriors at all. And Steph won't have a bad night like he did last night. Matter of fact, I think Steph will end up finishing in the MVP conversation. If you ask me, he's going to average about 27 points a game. So they'll be just fine.
All right, Perk, thanks for getting up this morning. We'll talk to you soon. You have a good one. And if we don't talk to you, happy holidays. That's
brother.
Kendrick Perkins, ESPN NBA analyst.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks. Talk to you soon. So beginning Tuesday, January 5th, Mike Greenberg begins his show, Greeny, immediately following Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin on ESPN Radio. Greeny will take you inside the stories of the day as only he can. He'll have the newsmakers you'd expect, and he'll interact with you every single day. From Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin right into Greeny, weekday mornings on ESPN Radio. Here's SportsCenter.
Paul George at the top. Little step back three on its way, and good. What a second half for Paul George. He's given the Clippers a 9-point lead, and he's got 27.
That was courtesy of ESPN Radio. The Clippers, yes, they defeated the Lakers last night, 116-109. Paul George scored 33 points.